Get close to the mic. Call meeting to order. Shelley, you can do roll call, please?
Mr. Mayor. District 1, Councilman Rio.
Here.
District 2, Councilman Pastor.
Present.
District 3, Kim.
Present.
Vice Mayor Stapleton.
Here.
District 5, Councilman Gonzalez.
Here.
District 6, Councilman Chip. Is here. Mayor Gamero.
Here. Thank you, Shelley. Chief, can you lead us in the invocation, please?
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful unto thee for the blessing of living in this community. We're grateful for those who serve day in and day out, make it a better place. We would ask thee at this time to be with those who are in need or who are mourning, help and comfort them with their need. Please be with this body as they deliberate and conduct the business of the city, that they may do so in a manner that will be of benefit to the community and to those who reside here. These things we pray for in the name of Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Before we get started with some of your current events, I would ask for a moment of silence for a former Globe police officer, Miss Janice Power, who was killed in a tragic accident between San Diego and Yuma this past week. Janice was, she was involved in a serious off-duty traffic accident near Yuma early Friday morning and succumbed to her injuries she sustained. Janice was well liked among the Globe PD and throughout the community. Janice served the Globe community from November of 2017 until August of 2021, and she left to pursue other ventures. We extend our deepest condolences to Janice's family and friends, and ask that you keep them in your thoughts at such a devastating time. Thank you for your dedicated service in law enforcement, Officer Power. May you rest in peace. Please for a moment of silence. Thank you. We'll move to summary of current events, and Mariano, we'll start with you.
I'd like to point out once again that there's still a lot of danger out there due to the monsoon season. Monday, the town of Clifton was evacuated. That is still where we are today with monsoon season. It's very dangerous. I need to point out to you that be very vigilant and careful in all of the river crossings, the creeks. Pay attention to any warnings given by the National Weather Service and County Emergency Management. Do not trust those creeks at this time. If you do that, you probably will be safe. There's a lot of activity with our thunderstorms and monsoon season. This is one of the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. So we ask that you spread the word. Be careful out there in the creeks and the crossings. Do not trust them at this time. We've been very lucky here in the city of Globe since last year. We've not had any injuries or anyone lost in a flowing creek. I'd like to keep that record, and let's be vigilant out there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Freddie?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just kind of add to that. I'd like to give a personal shout out to our Public Works Department. Vince, if you could let all your staff know, because of all the rains and the flooding, I know as council, members are receiving quite a bit of calls from, constituents regarding, packed culverts and water diversions and things like that. So Vince, I know you and your team are hopping out there, so just, continue the good work and thank you for all your expedient service and as well as our fire and police, because they get called on a lot of these calls as well. But it is a trying time. You know, we're in a drought. We want the rain, but we want it moderately, and you know, we can't have everything we want. But just be safe out there. And again, our first responders, fire, police, and public works. Thanks for all your service out there. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Freddie. Fernando, you have anything online? Yeah, we're not able to hear you, Fernando. Fernando, hang on a second. We can barely hear you. Try it again. Go ahead and speak just real quick. No. Hang on a second and let's see what we can come up with here. Fernando, go ahead and try now.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Got it?
We got it. Okay.
I managed the Dodge Police for over 2 years with COVID, but I didn't dodge it this last week. So I am now joining the rest of the troops that have already had it. But luckily I was fully vaccinated and made a quick recovery. So sorry I'm not there. And I just want to say we're very fortunate to have a good hospital and good providers in the area. So thank you for that. And I really don't have any other announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Mike?
Mr. Mayor, I don't have anything today. Thank you.
Thank you. Jesse? Mike?
I just have a few things. Actually, I'd just like to thank Mr. Larry Alderman, former council person for many years, and my old mentor for showing up tonight. Thanks, buddy. It's always nice seeing you. And then also, Udon and Tim McFadden, thank you guys for showing up tonight. I'm anxious to hear what's next in your life. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I also want to recognize Larry Alderman, former councilman. Good to see you again, Larry. I attended a town hall meeting on the 17th at the Miami Senior Center, and it was the results of the opioid and fentanyl study that they did. There was like 3 or 4 different work sessions. My schedule did not line up with them, so this was the first one I attended. And I was a little disappointed that we didn't have a lot of attendance there. There may have been a dozen people. And really, when we talk about the opioids and the fentanyl in our country, in our state, and even in our community, our kids are dying of fentanyl overdoses. And there are a lot of ways that they can get in the hands. And it's not only the people, the individuals that are drug users, but it's the innocent kids that are getting it in the schools and in different areas from friends. So we really need to be vigilant. We need to somehow push it forward. You know, is it at the national level, the state level, or maybe it's our local level that we need to do something and educate our kids about the use of opioids and especially fentanyl that is killing the kids. On the 2nd is First Friday, September 2nd. September 21st is our Citizens Academy. So if you know anybody who wants to attend the Citizen Academy, it's a 7-week course. It's every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So pass the word out there. And then on the 29th, we will do the State of the City address again, as we did last year, and it'll be out here in Veterans Park, and that'll be at 5:30, and that's on the 29th. And that's all I have. Paul?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I have nothing to add there. Thank you very much. No update.
Thank you. We'll go to first community call to the public. Do we have anybody online or on phone?
I don't see anybody online. No one through email. No.
Thank you. I just want to bounce back, I'm sorry, to one more announcement. Today was the first meeting, a Zoom meeting with Arizona Highways. in cooperation with Resolution Mine. They will be coming to Globe and Miami again and highlighting us, and we'll be, highlighted in the 2023, I think, year. But they'll be here in October, November timeframe to do a lot of videoing about all our areas that we have.
Exciting.
So we'll go to special presentations and ceremony matters. In item A, we have Kim and Udon here. Globe City Council would like to recognize Udon and Kim McSpadden Ford for 53 years of service to the Globe community. So we did get you a little gift. We wanted to recognize you. The gift is from the council and the city for your 53 years of dedication and business to our community. I mean, that's a long time to dedicate your time and finances and everything else. So if you want to say anything, we'd like to present, after that, we'll present you with a token of our appreciation.
Yeah, Kim wanted me to say something. She told me I should be very gracious. So I'm gonna try hard. You guys all know me too well. Yeah, 53 years, you know, there's a lot of marriages that don't go that long anymore. But, and it is kind of like a marriage, you know, you make it through the thick and through the thin in the local community, and everybody pulls together, and you learn how to appreciate people. And it's the entire community. It's Globe, Miami, all the surrounding areas, San Carlos. Everybody has been very, very good to us over the years. And, you know, I can remember when we first came, and my dad bought the place from Saks in 1970. And I think it was within the first 3 or 4 years, there was a huge mine strike. Everybody was off for 6 months, and my dad was staying awake at night. You know, I know he'd mentioned a couple of times to my mom about, man, why did we come to Globe? Why didn't we go somewhere where they don't strike all the time? And then, of course, you know, you had the early 80s when interest rates were 21%, and McSpadden Ford was still not well off enough that, you know, we had to floor the vehicles at 21, 22%. And that created a lot of sleepless nights. So, you know, it's that's why I say it's been through the thick and through the thin, you know, that, and the community is something that pulled together, helped us pull together over the years. And we certainly truly appreciate all of the people in the Globe area for all of their contribution to McSpadden Ford over the years. And we're going to stay busy. We're not, everybody keeps telling me happy retirement. I wish retirement is what it really was. McSpadden Ford takes up probably about 85+% of mine and Kim's time. And without that in the background, we're going to have a lot of extra time. But I've still got cows in New Mexico. I still got another Ford dealership in New Mexico. I got a fuel distribution business in New Mexico. So I'm still spinning plates. You know, if you ever watched the old Ed Sullivan show and the plate spinner back in the day. So we've still got a lot to do, but we're going to have a lot of time for ourselves, which is good. I think the timing has been good for us to do it now. But we truly do appreciate the community of Globe and all that they've done for us. Hopefully we've been able to return a little bit of that back over the years. And we're still going to be around. We're not leaving. My mom's here in assisted living, and she's 90, or well, will be 90. And so we're not going to go anywhere. We are going to probably spend more time away from Globe than we have in the past. But we're still going to live out on Pinto Creek, where we live now. Watch the creeks rise. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't ever wash my house away. If it does, we're all in really big trouble. Mm-hmm. But no, we'd just like to say thank you to everybody in the Globe community for being so kind and gracious over the years. And when I say gracious, I really truly mean that in my own personal life. There's life's full of roller coasters, you know, your ups and your downs, and I've been through mine, but the people in Globe were very, very gracious over the years and forgiving and looking over some big flaws, and I truly appreciate that also. So, I guess that's really all I have to say. Oh, the new guy coming in that we sold out to, he's a good man. His name's Dale Hicks. It's going to be called Courtesy Ford of Globe. He is not from Courtesy in the Valley, those dealerships. He had a Courtesy Ford up in Wisconsin, and he was a graduate from ASU, and he went to Wisconsin of all places. I can't believe it. But anyway, he went up there, got into a dealership, and he said now he's going to come back to Arizona and thaw out. So when he sold that dealership, he contacted the district management for Ford here in Globe, or for our area, the Southwest, and said, well, he didn't want to be a big dealer. He wanted to be a select dealer, which that's what they call us at Ford Motor Company, selects. And so anyway, he came to Globe. He was the first guy that looked at the place, and we sold it. So just good timing. Good timing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Udon, if you and Kim would like to come up to the front, we'd like to get a picture with you, with the council. We also got a gift, and I'll tell you a little bit about the gift, because you survived the telegraph fire. So this is a, this is a wooden goblet that was turned from a burned oak burl reclaimed from the telegraph fire near Globe in the summer of 2021. And this beautiful piece was created by a local craftsman, William B. Cook. So a little token from the council, from the city, for all your years of dedication here. Thank you. Picture down there? Well, you can have that too.
Yeah. Yeah, my bicycle repair skills are faded. Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, good luck. All right.
We'll see you later, Udon.
Good luck.
Item B on special presentations, we'll hear Community Center Pool Rehabilitation Project Update. And we have James Neville.
Evening, Mayor and Councilman. Hope you're all well. A project update for you guys since my last.
You can put the mic a little closer to you.
Is that okay? Oh, there we go. Since my last update with you guys, the site's advanced from 38% to a 62% completion, which is based on our costs to date. Included in that 62% is we've procured and paid for 97% of all the materials required for completion. So the only items outstanding which we have paid for are the slide pumps, the bulkhead, and the splash pad components. Bar that, everything else is on site, ready to get installed. Basically, the update, that's all the progress that we've achieved since I was last in front of you. We've installed the main gutter system around the perimeter of the pool. The roof frame assembly's been installed. The rough-ins for the plumbing and the electrical have been completed in the pavilion building. The first the first 6 courses of block work have been put into the building, which is your stem wall, which brings it up to your floor level in the pavilion. The backfilling has commenced. The bases for all the floodlights have been set and are being wired as we speak. The new stairs and new lights have been set into the pool. The main pump is in the ground now and it's been backfilled. Should be complete in a couple of days. The project on the whole has experienced some uncontrollable delays, some of which are still impacting our efficiencies. Due to the aggressive nature of our value engineering that had to occur back in May, we had to change a few orders and a few sort of delivery items to different vendors. And even in those, at that time, we were given a 3 to 4 month delivery time. Those orders went out in May and June, so they are now being procured and arriving on site, which is all good for the future. It was a necessary evil at that stage. We had to come in under budget just to make sure that the project could be continued. But all being told, with no further delays, which I don't expect, we have mitigated all the risks and the delays that we were being affected with. We're looking to have water in the pool in about 4 to 5 weeks. What I'd like you to do is come and have a look at the site if you have the time. I think invitations have been sent out for Thursday. It'll give you a far better awareness of where we are. And I think it will give you a form of comfort to understand the nature of progression from when I was last here to now.
Any questions? Ready?
So when you say water in the pool, how does that relate to opening?
It depends. Water in the pool, you should take between 4 and 5 days from water in the pool and opening. They've got to flush the system. They've got a pressure test. They've got to dose the water. So you have to get it chemically balanced. It should take between 4 and 5 days thereafter. So there was a date mentioned of the 29th of September. I think that you have something quite important here. So I have written that date down.
That would be nice.
Great.
And Mr. Mayor, members of council, so that this Thursday at 9 a.m. Is, I think, the date that went out for anybody who wants to show up on site and do the tour and see the improvements. And I've been asked many times, Walt's been working closely to keep lifeguards and staff available. When there's water in the pool and it's open and ready to go, we will be open with lifeguards, and we will stay open until the last Chilly Willy decides it's too cold to to splash around. So,
Well, the water's heated, so,
yeah, I know, it could be,
yeah,
you know,
Mm.
make it to, see how far we go.
yeah.
But, you know, it'll be an abbreviated season, it'll be a late season, but we hope to have a season. And again, thanks to James and Structurel. James has been under the gun for 6 months almost now, and doing everything he can to harangue and cajole and gather up and deliver and get on the phone and pull this all together. It's quite the feat in trying to, you know, get everything at the right time and get it together. So we're real happy about that. Working hard for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good news. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? We'll regroup. James, thank you.
Next, we have the consent calendar. Matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion and one vote. Public hearing items are designated with an asterisk. Prior to consideration of the consent agenda, the mayor will ask whether any member of the public wishes to remove a public hearing item for separate consideration. Members of the council and/or staff may remove any item for separate consideration. So we have consideration of waiver of section 2-4-10A prior discussion rule to allow action on the balance on the consent agenda. Accounts payable, $415,186.27. Consideration of approval of council minutes, June 28, 2022, meeting minutes, August 9, 2022, meeting minutes. Consideration of agreements and purchases of less than $25,000. Consideration to approve fiscal year 2021-2022 fourth quarter distribution of bed tax fund in the amount of $12,422.41 to the Culver Valley Center for the Arts to be paid from account number 10-51-51920, General Fund, Culver Valley Center for the Arts. In consideration to approve the fiscal year 2021-2022 distribution of bed tax funds in the amount of $12,243.12 first quarter, $12,265.85 second quarter, $9,092.13 third quarter, and $12,422.41 fourth quarter, for a total of $58,266.63 to the Globe Downtown Association from account number 10-51-51915, General Fund, Community Organizations, Globe Downtown Association. Do we have anybody from the public, the staff, or council would like to remove any of these items for separate consideration?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull item 3C, table it pending a discussion and meeting with the GDA. There are 3 points of clarification on those quarterly reports. I'd like to have those clarified. Paul, if you could direct staff, go ahead.
And let's go ahead, if we can pull that item, we can pass the rest of the consent and then come back and then bring that item up separately, and at that point, we can table it and have that discussion about
Let's do that.
follow-up.
Thank you.
In- Any other items, for separate consideration?
Mr. Mayor, if there are no other comments or questions, I motion that we accept the consent agenda as read and pull item 3C for further discussion.
Second. Motion a second for consent, for approval of the consent agenda minus item 4C. Is there any further discussion?
3C.
3C, I'm sorry. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Any abstaining? Motion passed. So we'll go back to item 4C, and Mariano, you want to explain your reason for pulling?
I need clarification on 3 points on the quarterly reports, and the only way I can see to do that is hold a meeting with the GDA and have that discussion. And as soon as I'm satisfied with that discussion, we can pull that back into consent agenda.
And Mr. Mayor, members of council, I can facilitate that meeting. Like I say, normally Jeannie looks through a lot of this stuff and had historically done that. We haven't had that opportunity, but I'd be happy to meet with Councilman Gonzalez and then facilitate a meeting with the group.
Thank
Okay, Mike?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I believe, last time that I believe it was the Downtown Association, they came in and we had to make up 3 payments or 4 payments for them, and the discussion at that time was that why aren't you doing it on a regular quarterly basis like everybody else? Their excuse was, well, with COVID and everything, you know, we can't keep up with it. And here we are again. They're requesting, you know, instead of getting their funding quarterly, they're adding it up, and it's, you know, puts, you know, the responsibility on the city to take care of that money and stuff. And I don't think that's right. If we're going to require everybody else to submit a report every quarter, I believe that they should have to report every quarter.
And it has been a request to the city, and it's documented request that we not wait, that we do these in a timely fashion. It's
Yeah.
we're already into the next budget cycle. And so I can broach that conversation also with them and see if we can find a more expedient way of getting these, processed and report back, when we bring this back to council.
And I will try to bring that back as soon as possible to expedite, but sure, 3 points of questions on those reports. As soon as I'm satisfied with them, we'll move forward.
Jesse?
You still have questions regarding reports in general, or just that they're coming for all three quarters?
No, that's not my question.
Oh.
My question is the data within the survey, or within the reports. And once that's clarified, we'll bring that back to council for consideration.
And just for, the public's explanation too, we have a council member in each one of the, bed tax groups that's a representative and a kind of a liaison, that sits in these group meetings, so, and Mariano's part of that group, so that's why he's requesting it as a representative with that bed tax
Right,
organization.
and he's a ex officio at the meetings and attends all the meetings, and, you know, this is that role that we just have set up. Mr. Mayor, a quick clarification. Shelley pointed out that the item is actually 4C. It's interesting how it's laid out, but correct, Shelley, it is. The item is 4C. If you go all the way up to consent, is 4. So
Oh, yeah.
you were right.
I caught it.
We were all off.
Oh,
I was absolutely right. Okay.
I withdraw all my, comments.
Do we have a motion to table this item till we get further, clarification?
Motion made.
Second. Motion and second to table item 4C. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Any abstaining? Motion passed.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you.
We go to new business. We have item 5A, consideration to approve resolution 1860 adopting the August 2nd, 2022 primary election results. And Shelley, can you read resolution 1860, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number 1860. A resolution of the Mayor and Council of the City of Globe, Gila County, State of Arizona, declaring and adopting the results of the primary election held on August 2nd, 2022. If council please with a reading.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Council, the resolution before you tonight officially accepts the results from the Gila County Elections Department declaring the outcome of the primary election. District 3, Councilman Latham. District 4, Councilman Stapleton. And District 6, Councilman Shipley ran unopposed and were declared the winners in the primary election. District 5, Councilman Mariano Gonzalez was in a race with Mr. Matthew Storms, and Councilman Gonzalez won, having more than 51% of the votes. Tonight, I'd just ask if you would approve and move to the next council meeting for final adoption.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we move this item to the next available meeting for second read. Second.
Motion and second to move forward item 5A. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Any abstaining? Motion passed. Item 5B, discussion and consideration to issue invitation of bid number CS-2023-0001 for the Globe Community Center Sewer Line Project Replacement Project with funds to come from account number 51-80-52200 wastewater capital outlay construction with possible reimbursement from WIFA. Do we have Jerry or Vince or?
Jerry, are you on Zoom?
You have me on Zoom.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So Jerry, yeah, Jerry, we can hear you, we can see you, and we can see you pitching for another truck. So, so go ahead and begin your presentation.
So, Virginia. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item tonight is the first project of 2020 WIPA that has been approved through, staff, has been approved through our procurement consultant, CAG, who is managing the procurement, and then also through WIPA. So, this is connect our existing sewer line, their Tri-City Fire, Poison Road Supply, and with connections, lateral connections, to Besh, and the community center area, and will be available there for future, connections.
Hey, Jerry,
Jerry, Jerry, we might have to have you call in. You're breaking up real bad. We're not hearing.
do you want to turn off your video, Jerry, and make sure that you're not watching the YouTube, and see if just the audio from the Zoom? Yeah, so if you turn off your video and you're not watching YouTube, Jerry, how, can you hear us well?
Let me call in on the other line.
Okay. Jerry, Shelley is going to call you.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
all right, thank you. Imagine an army of Jerry robots.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, greetings from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hey, Jerry, mute your Zoom, Jerry.
I did. No, I did. You're right, I did, yeah. How about that? Don't know what else to do, guys.
We're gonna, if you want to get out of the Zoom, we're gonna, I think,
Okay.
end the meeting and hang on one sec. There we go. Okay, Jerry, now try it just strictly over the phone.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay.
Jerry.
So I said, Walter, good evening from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's the difficulty I'm having. So, so this item is our first project in the WIPA, approved projects. It has been approved through procurement, consultant through, CAG, who is managing our procurement, documents, and through WIPA as well as staff. So we're ready to go out to advertise. Tonight we're seeking council's approval. The project starts at Tri-City Fire and goes all the way around to the Boys and Girls Club and ties in Besh and all the community center, and is available as a main trunk line for future expansion. So we're asking tonight that you allow staff to put this project out for advertising.
Do we have any questions or comments for Jerry?
This is what we've been discussing.
Yes, this is
Wow.
that same project, and we're going through WIPA, and there's not a number on there because the number will be the number that is the lowest bidder. So that is up to them to decide.
So on the document, so we have some 700,000. What are we showing with
Yeah,
that?
that's an engineer's estimate, Mayor, that that staff has assigned to that? We haven't gone out to get an actual number on it yet?
So does not have the need to have the rules waived. This will come back once we have the bids and accept the lowest bid. It'll come back, so there's no need to waive the rule on this. It was the first step.
No, and and we're asking for directions to go out to advertise.
So the motion to go direction for staff to go to bid.
Okay. One more question then. It's not only for, city facilities, though. This will be available for anybody else to hook in?
Yeah, so every time we move our sewer system further out, we become closer to additional property owners that may or may not want to take advantage to us. And so this expansion of the system, it's just ongoing process that happens, and various property owners take advantage. We do believe that there are people that will likely take advantage of this location. But the primary goal is for our community center and the Boys and Girls Club to expand the sewer system within our property area. And but it does benefit the area and the local property owners.
So, Mr. Mayor, with that, I will make a motion to issue invitation for bid, number CS 2023-0001 for the Globe Community Center Sewer Line Replacement Project, with funds to come from account number 51-80-52200 wastewater capital outlay construction, with possible reimbursement from WIPA.
Motion and a second for item 5B to issue invitation of bid. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Any abstaining? Motion passed. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Next, we have item 6A, action items. Consideration to approve the Gila House funding request of $15,000 to support short-term housing and to approve reporting requirements funded from account number 10-55-52205, grant-funded capital outlay. Paul.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, we heard a presentation from Debbie Cox 2 weeks ago, I believe, and council was looking to move forward with this. The only piece of the puzzle left was the reporting form that we have put together. I think everybody's on board with the initial allocation, but I'll just highlight this. I don't have it on the screen, but if you have it in your packet, I think some of the key differences other than information, description of organizational purpose and services provided. We know that they do housing, intended goals for use of funding as stated to council, description of how your goals will directly benefit the residents of Globe. These are all questions that will be responded to by the applicants at the 6-month and the year period. But we will work with Gila House to get a copy. I didn't want to have them take the time to fill this out prior to you approving the document. Then I think the two important ones, a narrative on the progress made in achieving goals stated to council, and a narrative on what's left to be done and the next steps. So as this project goes forward, it's like, this is what we asked for, this is where we're at, this is where we're left to go, and then some accounting of the funds, how much has been spent, additional comments. So in the bottom half, the financial aspects, amount of initial funding, expenditures to date of city-provided funding, pending expenditures, if any, and funds remaining. So there you can just see the flow of where the money started, where it's at, and where it's going to end. And then the standard documentation that Gila House has already provided. And so this will be kind of our new model, but it's more of a narrative that has a real world language that talks about what are you doing with the money and how are you benefiting the city. But we do have 2 guests that are members of Gila House that also could step up, and that's Chief Walters and Councilman Larry Alderman, that if you'd like to just come say a few words in defense of your namesake here. So. I don't know which one's packing more heat, huh?
To the mayor and council, I just would like to say, thank you for considering this. This is something that, you don't do for yourself or for someone else. But the fact that, the Gila house is for a small contingent of people that really need that service. And it's something that we do for the community, not for ourselves. So on behalf of, Gila House, I would like to commend you all for considering this. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is one of 3 presentations I'll give tonight. As I stated in the last council meeting, this has been a very important part of providing services to not only victims of crime. Their work over the last couple of years, we've had some incredible devastating fires, floods, and they've been there to step up to help out. This is a huge benefit to our community, and every little bit that the city could prop them up is a huge positive because it goes to a very noble cause within our community. So thank you very much for considering it. They have a long history of proper accounting and reporting, and we'll have no problem doing it. I currently sit the board, all disclosure, now, and meeting the reporting requirements set forth by the city will not be a problem whatsoever. Thank you.
Any questions, comments? Mike, go ahead.
Paul, is this gonna be a continuing line item in the budget?
That would be council's preference. We will do it this year. The biggest reason for a 6-month report is so that at that point, you're right at the beginning of the budget cycle, and if you feel comfortable, you have the information needed to say, let's include it on the budget. But this is not, approval tonight, simply 1 year of funding at $15,000. It starts a precedence, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it up in either direction in future budgets.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if no other comments or questions, I motion to approve the Gila House grant request in the amount of $15,000 and reporting requirements budgeted from account number 10-55-52205.
Motion and second for approval of item 6A. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Any abstaining? Motion passed. Thank you, Larry. Item 6B, consideration to approve contract number GS-2023-0017 with McSpadden Ford for the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 4x4 for the Water Department in the amount of $51,357.17. Funds have been budgeted in account number 50-80-520000 Water Capital Outlay Equipment. Vince.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight we're here to ask approve a contract for, like I said, new F-150 for the Water Department. We went out to bid on July 27th. It was a quick turnaround. We closed the bid on August 10th. And due to Ford's ordering process, we had to close the order by the 12th of August. So we had to move fast. We got a good deal. McSpadden was the only one that bid out on it. Too bad they're not here to hear this, but yeah.
So is this a ratification or is it a approval?
And so we have made the purchase on this?
We did place the order.
Yes, so we placed, it's a ratification of the order, but we haven't taken delivery. So if you were to not approve this, we would just not take delivery. And so it's I would not call it a ratification. I'd say an approval of the purchase, even though that we haven't transferred money yet. Yeah.
We just placed an order.
What's that?
It was already budgeted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already been budgeted. Yeah, was this budgeted this year or last year? Was this a carry forward?
It was a carry forward.
Yeah, we've been trying to get this one for a while. I think there's 3 we're still trying to land.
Yeah, so we're waiting on one. Should be here September, mid-September, late September. Still waiting on John's F-250. waiting on it since like a year now. And this one they said would be delivered in March, so.
One of the delays on John's is he has a utility bed that needs to be put on, so they gotta take the regular bed off, put the utility bed on. And that causes another action that needs to happen in a timely fashion. So,
So is this gonna be to McSpadden Ford or Curry Ford?
and Kelly, you said, yes,
Okay.
Because I think they take possession in the next 2 weeks. Vertice does, yeah.
and I think there, Shelley, there's some other ones that we have to transfer over. Did we have to make a?
Yes.
Right in.
Yes, checks that are on order that we haven't procured through a contract yet, those will be with courtesy of Ford.
You
Right.
said, sorry, you said this one won't be delivered till March?
Yep.
Why March?
That's what's been happening. They only accept so many in their queue, they call it. What they're gonna build for the year, and once they're full, they're tapped out.
7 months.
We've been waiting a year for John's F-250. And we ordered the one that's gonna be here in September, we ordered that one in February, so.
It's insane.
Well, good thing they're not building the pool.
Yeah, right.
The same set of issues, so it's, that supply
Mr.
chain.
Mayor, if there's no further discussion, I would make a motion to approve contract number GS 2023-0017 with McSpadden for a 2023 Ford F-150 4x4 for the Water Department in the amount of $51,537.17, funded through account number 50-80-52000 Water Capital Outlay Equipment.
Second.
Yeah, you got the amount wrong, right?
I did.
It says 51,531, so
537.
357.
51,537.
All right.
Not to exceed 52,000.
Yeah, okay, not to exceed 52,000.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of item 6B. Is there any further discussion?
I have a question there.
Go ahead, Freddie.
So I'm trying to think back, is this the second read on this item, or have we read it before? Do we have to waive the rule?
No, go ahead.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you. No further questions.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Any abstaining? Motion passed. Thank you, Vin.
Thank you, sir.
Item 6C, consideration to approve resolution 1861 expressing support for the appointment of Drew John to the Arizona State Transportation Board. Shelley, can you read resolution 1861?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number 1861, a resolution of the City of Globe City Council expressing support for appointment of Drew John to the Arizona State Transportation Board. Is council pleased with that reading?
Yes.
And so, Mr. Mayor, members of council, as you recall, Mr. John appeared here and was spoke kindly of his role and his efforts, accompanied by Steve Stratton. This is a follow-up with the resolution that if council does approve, we can pass that along and share that with other